Hi team, Ramin here with Dr. Alnas from Finland, of course, the scientist who patented everything about the fountain of life. Well, how many years ago did you patent this, Thomas?
Started maybe 15 years ago.
15 years ago.
Yeah.
Every time I meet you, I'm just mesmerized by this inside locker room talk that we can't really talk about in public, and we're not going to release this publicly either. But wanted to some of our, core leadership or whatever for them to know inside information about this product. You're investing a ton of money into research.
Yeah.
You're doing different testing, and tell me a little bit about the research that you're doing.
Okay, so one of the big issues in the world today is the obesity and all the diseases the obesity creates. And we are on a very good track now to solve the primary problems with that. And that comes to the accumulation of fat droplets into your body.
Well, we'll get to it in a minute.
Yeah.
No, last time Sanas and I were there, you brought us to University of Helsinki, right?
Yeah. Turku. Yeah.
Is that where you do your testing?
Yeah, there is. They are very well known for the cancer research they are doing, and that is the other topic we are
Specializing in cancer research.
Yeah. And they have also other topics that they work with and so on. And I have my daughter there now.
Okay. Yeah, your whole family is scientists and doctors, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting. That dinner we had, all your daughters, they're all scientists.
Yeah.
So question here, last time I was there, the chief scientist, I forget his name, he was talking about testing we were doing with this product with, I guess, colon cancer itself, was it?
There is a group of cancers that are all related with the same mechanism, or AKT mechanism, that regulates the growth and the splitting of the cells. So we can take away that signal.
Yeah, so he was explaining to us, for the rest of us who are not scientists, he said basically a cancer cell, some of them, they have receptacles and they communicate to each other. And what you explained to me today, the communication is about splitting so they can grow, right?
Yeah.
And I remember he was saying that in the scanning machine, in that environment, the minute or the second that extract touched the cell and it paused. Did I get that right?
Yeah. So with a certain level of these ligands, we can stop the growth signal and the splitting signal, and that means that the cancer cell that tries to grow and put pressure on the cells outside, so that normal cells, they will kill themselves and make space for the cancer cell to grow. Now, when we stop the growth and cells are killed outside, it takes away the pressure. So it takes, you give a pain relief.
That's why pain goes away.
Yeah, exactly. And then when it's not growing anymore, your own immune system can start to encapsulate it and diminish it and so on.
That's interesting because I learned a lot today. So we know cancer grows, tumors, right? They grow. So they're growing because they're telling each other to split.
Yeah.
The cells are splitting, so that just like 2 homes and 4 homes, and they keep on, right? And then that takes more space. When I put more space, that puts pressure on the good cells.
Yeah.
And the good cells are saying this is too uncomfortable. They kill themselves
to make space.
Makes more room, and then keep on growing and kills more and keep on growing. That's really interesting. So what this ligands do in some cases is that it stops them from telling each other to split.
Yeah, we have seen then that we can take out the signal for growth and splitting, and that will solve the problem for the moment. After that, your immune system takes over, or your normal medical drugs
traditional
that
treatment
can kill cancer cells.
That's incredible. Wouldn't that be awesome after maybe chemo, or people have gone through that?
Okay, yes. So we have many examples of people that have got cancer, and then like you have, for instance, prostate cancer.
Prostate, yeah.
Yeah, and it's easy, very easy to see that when you start to eat this, you can urinate
Much easier.
again. Yeah,
Yeah.
And then it takes the pressure away also.
So is that the same thing? Because people do say that after being on the product, they don't get up to go to the bathroom at night.
Yeah.
So what happened there?
Yeah, so because there is a pressure with the prostate growing, and then you have no need to go to urinate, but you cannot urinate so much, so you need to go very often.
Right.
And you all the time have that pressure. You cannot sleep very well because of that and so on. And now we have clearly evidence that we can stop the cancer growth, take the pressure away, and you can sleep 6 hours.
Okay, this is incredible stuff. So that's what the last time Sanas and I were in,
Yeah.
we talked about it. Now he didn't get as detailed as you did.
No.
He kind of gave us about 30-second version of this, right?
Yeah.
You just showed. Now since then you've been doing a lot of other research.
Yeah.
So your focus has been on.
The other issue is the obesity and all the diseases that create. You could say that when you get too much calories from the food and you don't use it, then you start to accumulate oil droplets.
Oil droplets.
Yeah.
From the unused food.
Yeah.
Excess food.
Yeah, and your body wants to accumulate that for future use, and that's the normal thing. But the problem is that creates a low-level inflammation in your body, and that becomes chronic.
So your immune system sees this extra stuff he doesn't want.
Yeah,
and it causes inflammation in your where? Liver?
All over your body where you accumulate too much of fat.
Okay.
So, and now the thing that we've seen is that, and as I told from the beginning, that it's crucial to have lignans in the food that you eat.
Why?
Because that will increase your level of antioxidants in the blood and anti-inflammatory components that are created. And that will take care of this low-level inflammation, so you don't get chronic problems. And those chronic problems, again, is diabetes 2, for instance. Insulin resistance, too high insulin production, too high blood glucose level, and many other issues.
So your body basically reacts to everything. Even the insulin that's supposed to kill the sugar, now the body's reacting to over-insulin because it's too much sugar.
Yeah, and the problem is that they call it metabolic syndrome, these all issues, is that when you get obesity problem, you cannot stop eating, or you are hungry, even if you have all the calories.
Midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, you just feel like you just need to eat.
Yeah. And the thing that we then also noticed, or I noticed myself, is that when you get enough of these lignans, it changes your intestinal conversion, so that you get less signals to your brain that you are hungry or you should eat more. Actually, it's very easy to stop eating, even if you would have a nice steak or ice cream or something. Earlier it was not possible, because it seems that there is a connection between your gut microbes signaling to your brain that they need more.
That's interesting, because I've heard this in the past. Your body's sending a false signal that you're hungry where you really aren't, but nobody to this depth. Because sometimes you eat, and then you say, well, then why am I hungry again? I just ate, I ate a lot, so why am I hungry? So you're not really hungry, so you shouldn't be listening to your body in this case. You're hungry, not because you're really hungry, you got excess fat lying everywhere. You're hungry because the microbes are hungry. Because they're so used to getting food frequently, they just want their food.
So this is one other thing that I didn't talk earlier, but I don't know if it's proper to talk about it. But
don't worry, it's not going anywhere. This is not going anywhere. So
your pew, the color of it, and consistency.
Your stool, your waist, yeah.
So the shit, color, and consistency tells about your what digestion, and nobody is really talking about it. But that is a real good indicator. If you have very beige pew and very very liquid stuff, then probably you are already quite a long time having problems with your digestion. So you should have not black but dark colored pew with substance.
Okay.
And nobody's talking about this. And
so it shouldn't be beige or lighter color. Your stool needs to be darker color.
Yeah, and that you will see will change when you eat lignans, because you change your microbe, also what you have there, and clearly quite those people that start to have colon cancer problems, they all have the wrong
digestion problem.
Yeah,
starts with that.
Yeah,
interesting. You say that because we hear a lot. People say, I don't get hungry as much. I don't eat as much, or I don't have crave sugar as much. Yeah. That's probably because now the microbes are getting the lignans and stopping the craving, I guess.
Yeah, probably we change the composition of the microbes.
Interesting. Now you're gonna show some of those graphs, some of the stuff. I know this is your patent.
Yeah.
How many patents you got going right now?
I don't know. I don't know because
we don't talk about it.
Other fields also.
Okay, we don't talk about it. Perfect. But we did go public with one of the patents.
Yeah.
And is that what you're going to show us now?
No, it is in the progress. So we have patent on cholesterol, and that is related exactly to this. So it's part of it. So when you correct your metabolism, and then you correct also the cholesterol, the good and bad cholesterol ratio, and that you will see that will change. So many people, take the blood picture, and when you increase in age, you get more cholesterol and so on, and now you can see that it will change.
You can correct that.
Yeah.
Can you show us some of the stuff you showed us earlier? Because the decreases on the fat and the cholesterol and all that stuff, that was fascinating.
Yes, so
by the way, these are inside studies and research that the scientist is doing in the background. And this is inside information that we never release, but you guys are part of this core, you get to see it. And we're not here to distribute this information.
Okay, so one thing is the total body weight, and you can see here low-fat diet. You give 60 days to mice that have the same digestion as the humans, and then you have high-fat diet, and you see that there's maybe 50% more body weight.
Yeah.
And then if you give pure lignan to them, HNMR, then within 60 days giving that, the body weight is 11% less, and with the AOX, our mixture, we have maybe 18%.
So let me get this right. This is a mice.
Yeah.
This is a low-fat diet. That's high-fat diet.
Yeah.
When you give HMO, which is one of the lignans in the FOL, after 60 days, they drop by 11%. The body weight of the mice dropped by 11%. Now, this is our mixture because we have 7 lignans. So our Fountain of Life extract dropped it by 18% in 60 days. That's incredible. That's body weight.
Okay. Then if we go to look on more exciting figures, we see here the insulin production, and you have the low-fat diet when you don't have diabetes problem, you could say. And then high fat diet, and you have really big problem. We can see with HMR that you reduce it 74%, and with our raw mixture 89%. And that means that we are in the same level as a low fat diet.
So high fat diet and a low fat diet, I hate to say this, I don't take this. So basically, this is like the magic pill. You call it the magic drops, right?
Yep.
So you had a high fat diet, you added the fountain of life, now as if you're having low fat diet?
Yep.
80%.
89%.
89 decrease in what?
In the insulin production.
Insulin production.
That you when you blow it up, you.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
So this is a research for diabetes too?
Yeah. Because that is a consequence of this high fat diet.
Is there anything else you want?
So.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Liver, I think this is also incredible. So accumulation of the oil droplets in the liver, it's called liver steatosis. And you see here at low fat diet and high fat diet, and now we can reduce it with say 65% of accumulation in 60 days of a diet.
So this causes what?
This causes the reduction of fat liver problem.
No, okay, so no, forget about having the lignans.
Yeah.
But if you have high fat diet, a lot of diseases.
You will destroy your liver in the same way as you do it with alcohol. So if you really drink a lot of alcohol, you get fat liver.
So a lot of diseases are attributed to bad liver, right?
Yeah, or this is a typical place where high fat accumulation destroys a really important function in you.
Wow. So I know.
And the reason is the high fat diet. Even if you don't drink any alcohol, you get the fat liver, and that is going up like this now.
You know what's interesting, and I still very hesitant to say it. People always, whether it's in business or diet or whatever, they always look for the magic pill, right?
Yeah.
And we always say there is no magic pill. There is pain and suffering into any progress.
Yeah.
And here you are. It's almost like it's the magic pill.
It is, and the problem in the beginning was that even if we had the knowledge already, we couldn't show it scientifically enough with all kind of different systems.
Because there's not enough research, or
no, because it takes time and takes money and efforts and so on. So anyway, the research around the world is working a lot on flaxseed and other lignans, and everybody starts to have the knowledge that hey, there is something
big here.
Yeah.
And okay, so of course this is not a meal. You have it in addition to what you're eating during the day.
Yeah.
So you add it to your diet.
Yeah.
That really pushes you to where you really should be.
Exactly, and historically we had these lignans in the food earlier. We had low fat diet. We had porridge. We had bread. We didn't eat a lot of cheese and fat and other things, and we consumed the calories we had in the intake. So we were in balance, and we didn't have these diseases. Mm-hmm. Now, when you have the economy to eat and the price of food is going down, you overeat, and you get all these diseases. And now we have a way to correct it.
So if someone is, we all have stuff we don't even know we have, right?
Yeah.
If someone feels like they're healthy, because most people think they're healthy, but until 5 years from now they realize that I guess I'm not healthy anymore.
Yeah.
It was just happening along the way, right?
Exactly.
So if someone who is healthy, what's not the recommended dosage that we say to everybody? Like somebody like me, what is it I should be taking? My size, and I should be taking?
Well, I take now 15 drops in the morning, about 15 drops during the day and 15 in the evening.
Can you show that graph?
Okay, so
Because that was important when you show us. So we're as the scientist is doing research, we're also researching the usage, and in graphs. I mean, this is multi-million-dollar labs, and they're looking how your body relates to it, your bloodstream, and its effects and so forth. And so now they're getting the timelines right. So when you take it, what happens within an hour, and what happens within 24, 72 hours, and so forth. So now the latest information is that we should take it several times a day.
yes.
So explain that to us, doctor.
Yeah, so in human studies you can give say 36 milligram of HMA lignan, and then you can measure in the blood how much of the lignans you find there, and you see that within 60 minutes you come up to
Wow.
the
It's pretty quick.
point. Yeah, and then slowly it is decreasing, but at the same time.
But hold on, that's like 12 hours here, right?
Yeah.
It's like 12 hours. So within an hour, and then it starts to.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
Then at the same time, when you have eaten these lignans, you convert those lignans that you have in the intestines. There's an enzyme there to enterolactone, and that is anti-inflammatory
Right.
component in the blood.
Right.
And as I told in the beginning, everything comes from the inflammation reaction to the oil droplets. So
Oil droplets, yeah.
Yeah. So now we can counteract that. And you see that it starts to go up after 13 minutes, but we have the peak after 24 hours.
So it's a two-stage benefit.
Yeah.
The first stage is when within 60 minutes,
Yeah.
you see, like, this is what is this? This
Zero.
is like, well, it's like instant, right?
Yeah.
It's like instant
So
goes up,
yeah.
peaks out at 60 minutes. So first stage it starts to dissipate, but even after 72 hours, it's still doing something.
Yeah.
But when the first stage finishes, second stage starts.
Yeah.
This is where the lignans now enter the intestines.
Yeah, and it takes time there for the uptake and the conversion and so on. But you see the timeline here, and that's why I think it's good that you take 3 times a day.
Right, so going back to here, so what you're saying is that morning
Yeah.
and then afternoon,
Yeah.
evening.
Yeah. And then that way you keep then your active components in the blood working all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you're eating all the time, you're drinking all the time.
Yeah,
So
and you know you have you use the energy all the time in different way during the day, and then probably you should meet with a good antioxidant capacity and anti-inflammatory capacity in your blood system.
this is fascinating stuff. I mean, human body is so complex, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are taking a small component of the whole body to work, and but the main part, which whether you're healthy or not healthy, falls right there.
Yeah, and just imagine now this very simple way for correcting so many sufferings. You know, old people losing their legs, whatever, because of diabetes.
Diabetes, yeah.
Yeah, and all the money that is poured into the healthcare system taking care of these people that have this, and I think we can correct that or take away a big part of this problem if we just get enough of the material out and people.
No, we can't say this stuff, but after you showed me this earlier, you know what I was thinking? I was thinking, like this is the answer to the modern diseases.
Yeah.
And can we even say that?
No,
We can't say that, right?
You know that.
That's implying.
Because well, privately we can say because that is the truth.
Is it prevention to modern diseases? Maybe can we say that?
The reason for the modern diseases are the high-fat diet without lignans. If we have high-fat diet, we can reduce. If we would have something in between high-fat diet and low-fat diet, we could reduce the intake.
Can we say this is to something about high-fat diet, not really diseases, but can we say something like this is your answer too high-fat diet.
Yeah, or maybe you could say, I don't know, that different people have different level of antioxidant capacity in the blood and anti-inflammatory enterolactone, estradiol, and some have enough that they don't create the modern diseases, and some have less, and then they get chronic inflammation, and that's due to the food intake and exercise and so on. We know that exercise has a good effect on your health. We know that food has a bad or good effect on health.
Okay, so now before we sitting in the morning,
Yeah.
now we're saying, well, we still say 10 drops a day, but really, if you want to peak its performance, 15 drops in the morning, 15 at lunch, and 15 in the evening.
Yeah.
Because you eat 3 times,
Yeah.
so you're trying to.
Yeah, and so I think that we need more time to follow up and see what would be the best. And I think in different parts of the world we have a different menu. So we have naturally then intake already of antioxidants and lignans and so on. So I know that there is less heart disease and atherosclerosis in Mediterranean.
Some countries,
yeah, and so on. And this is the explanation.
How about the brain? I mean, have you done research on that? How it affects the brain, maybe brain diseases and stuff?
No, but clearly, I think of course the atherosclerosis and clogging of the blood vessels creates problem
for the brain.
Yeah, and so on. And if you can get rid of those problems, then you are healthier, and you have less risk of.
Okay, so we know there's 2 ways of using it: topically and sublingually, right? Yeah. Is there another way of using it? Maybe sniff it or something?
Yeah, I mean
aromatherapy, maybe.
In for medicine use, certainly there's many.
So how do they use it off the record? I mean, we're not doctors, but in a lab. No, keep going. In a lab, I know you've been last 20 years. You've been using this in a special labs for different things, right? So how else would they use it in the lab? Medically?
No, well, medically you have many routes into the body,
okay.
and you could use them all.
Okay, we won't get into that.
Yeah.
Doctor, this is fascinating. So thank you for coming on. I know it was last minute for you. You were in New York doing your business.
Yeah.
You got a call from us and say, hey, get on a plane, and to the benefit of our people. And it's going to be epic tomorrow. Who is there tomorrow? They'll be absolutely fascinated by this. So thank you for coming out.
Okay. Thank you.